Nebraska University President Ted Carter, Chancellor Ronnie Green, and Athletic Director Bill Moos all were in favor of playing college football this fall, but they've been overruled by the Big Ten Conference. But before we pivot to a season likely in early 2021, I asked Bill Moos if there was any chance of any Big Ten football to be played this autumn.
Well, for this fall, I don't see any chance. I do think that we have a good opportunity ahead if we can get out in front of this virus as best we can to look at something after the first of the year, and that's what we're working on as a conference right now.
How damaging will this be to the Big Ten if there's no football in your conference and yet there's football in other conferences, SEC, ACC, Big 12?
Well, we got to hope that we can play at some point, and again, I believe that best chance of that is after the first of the year. But still, we're going to be watching from the sidelines in the fall, and we've got to make sure our brand is protected, that people don't forget about us. This is a storied football conference. We don't want to be left out. We don't want to lose players. We don't want to have them going into transfer portals.
Would it be fair to characterize you as frustrated, or am I putting words in your mouth?
Yeah, I'm frustrated. There's no question. And the people that I communicate with, primarily Chancellor Green and Commissioner Warren, are aware of my feelings. And I respectfully am aware of theirs. Hopefully we can move forward and again salvage a season at some point.
You're on this return to competition task force. One of the options that seems to be gaining the most steam is that to start as close to the first of the year as possible. Is that accurate?
I believe that it's quite accurate for a couple of reasons that really make sense. One is what would be the regular college football season would just be ending, and fans could continue to get their enjoyment out of more college football. It also allows, I think, the best chance for our really top players throughout the league to compete and still be in good shape to go into the pro football draft. For those that will be going into the 2021 season, it allows them to recover. For that reason, like the earlier the better myself.
I saw reports of dome stadium usage in various cities. That's where we're headed.
Well, I'm not sure we're headed there, but it is being discussed.
If you had a season after the first of the year, it couldn't go 12 games and then head into a 2021 season with 12 games.
Yeah, I think we'd probably be talking about a 7 or 8 game season. Again, we're just now starting to talk about these things, and we would have to be mindful about the NC2A basketball tournament and a lot of these things that we're going to be pushing up against. Even if we start the 1st of January.
Would you consider a fall game, like a spring game in the fall? Can you do that?
Like to. I think, again, if we have a winter season, it would be helpful for these players who really didn't get a spring football season.
Is Dublin still on?
Right now it is.
That's the question I get. Is Dublin still on, and is the Oklahoma game still on? Those two things are still happening as of right now.
As we speak, they are, yes.
Yeah, Bill Moos referring to that 2021 football schedule. Nebraska is scheduled to open that season against Illinois in Dublin, Ireland, and they're scheduled to play at Oklahoma next September. Moos says Nebraska will not need to take out a loan for the athletic department with all the cutbacks they've made and furloughs, along with the reserve fund. They have enough in that reserve fund to get them through this year. So here we are. We're on the last week of August. We're facing this giant void in terms of college football. Normally, it's full of anticipation and excitement, all the talk of great matchups and the dreams of championships. Most high schools teams will play despite some uncertainty. College football, well, we may never quite look the same, but even amidst of all that, optimism remains.
Let's just say the whole thing shut down for an entire year. College sports will come back. You know, they may look different after this time period. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I hope, especially for the sake of our student athletes, I hope it's sooner than later, and we can get them back doing what they love to do, which is preparing and competing.
Well, no Big Ten football, but there will be plenty of high school football coming your way this fall. Every week we bring you Operation Football on KETV Friday nights at 10 o'clock. It includes our monster matchup. This week it's Millard North taking on Millard South, and also our fan favorite game, which you can vote on each week on KETV.com. It's been a wild ride so far, and the season hasn't even kicked off yet. Enjoy the football season, everybody, or what there is to it. Thanks for joining us tonight on Operation Football, our kickoff special.
You know?